On the dot.
7:30ish on the dot.
That's right. 7:30ish sharp.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
All right. Say what's up, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube.
What up, Tube?
We ready to rock and roll this thing.
In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Woo! What up, ladies and gentlemen? Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The insurance bro, James Cias with Pipeline Insurance, and we're both sitting here sporting red, which is a beautiful, wonderful thing on this wonderful, beautiful Monday. Gotta love it. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Man, I feel like this is actually the first Monday of the year for me.
Yeah, because the other ones kind of had partial weeks. We had like really
last
weird
week,
off days.
Last week was the first Monday of the year.
True, but we were also in Texas.
We were on our way to Texas.
Yeah.
So it was totally thrown off. But I noticed when I walked in here that you did your weekly planner.
I did.
This week. And I started doing mine.
Groove.
Yep, getting right back on it. I took like 3 weeks off of that thing. And I got back to it and I was looking at it. I was like, oh, man. Like, there's some things that I need to catch up on still.
Yeah.
Some things that didn't get done. But I love making that weekly plan. You want to know why?
Because it puts you in a position where you can actually succeed?
Or it puts me in a position where I can actually succeed. And I know one of the things that I love about it is on the back side of it, it tells me my one thing that I got to do every day.
Which is what we're going to be talking about today. What is
your
one thing? So before we get started, right? So, ladies and gents, we are on crunch time. We're trying to get 100 blankets and or hoodies or sweaters by the end of the month. So, the thermometer says 0. However, a couple shout outs. Michael Gonzalez, Noemi Baez, Esther Dominguez, Katia. I forgot Katia's last name. The one I want to say isn't actually her last name.
Machado?
I think so. Katia, we love you.
Whatever.
So they've already started sending stuff in. They're just not here yet. So that thermometer, as soon as those packages arrive, they're going to be going, it's going to be filling up. So thank you very much. But if you guys have hoodies or blankets, we want to make sure we keep people warm. And we're trying to do it as soon as possible because winter is upon us.
Winter is here. So 619-884-0045 or james at csfirst.com if you got any of that stuff. Hit me up.
And we're going to see how many blankets and stuff we can fit on the bike.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. I was thinking about that too because we got a message from Kelly, I think it was.
Oh, yeah,
like,
Kelly
hey,
and Ollie. And yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And Kelly was like, yeah. Oh, I hit him up. I was like, hey, how many blankets you got? Because got the Harley. I don't know. It's going to be a fun one trying to figure out how to fit all the blankets and hoodies on there. But definitely, while we're in shout-out mode, I want to say happy birthday to one of the Business Bros pod's biggest fans, Vincent Cortez. Vincent Albert. Vinny! Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday. And speaking of shout outs, one more. My old man, Pops, is not feeling so hot. So it's not anything super critical or anything like that. He's just not under the weather. So we hope you get better, Dad. Love you. And take care of yourself, man. Take that. Take what you need to take and get back on your feet as soon as possible.
That's right. Rest a lot. Lots of fluids.
Yep.
And thank you, Mom, for always taking care of Pops.
Of course. All right. And so 100 hoodies, 100 blankets as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Make it happen.
Second, Pipeline Insurance is where you need to go. We are actively seeking referrals.
Seeking referrals.
Yeah, one thing we talk a lot about is, making the ask. So if you guys have any insurance needs, we have people who send us insurance or people who want to add insurance into their business. Either way, we can help you do that. 619-884-0045 or james at csfirst.com is how you get the insurance help that you need. Show sponsor for today is dronequote.net. So I want you guys to go to I want you, if you're thinking about solar, right? Must be Monday. If you're thinking about solar, you got to know where to shop. The first place you go is dronecode.net/business bros. That's where the starting point is. Then from there, they're going to send a drone, take pictures of your rooftop, send those measurements out to roofing contractors, solar contractors. You sit back, pick the one that works for you, and get your solar done. Don't worry about shopping yourself and going and trying to contact these companies and sit down with hour-and-a-half quotes for each individual company. One spot, dronecode.net/business bros. All right, let's get into this thing. You ready? Business Bros with 1 O.
With 1 O. Always love that.
All right, so the one thing. So The reason why I was thinking about this is because, we've been working a lot on the podcast itself, doing different things, and the question we get all the time is, what do you guys do with the podcast? Like,
what's the point?
What's the point? Why do you guys do it? And we've talked about this before. I mean, when we started the podcast, we started it because people, bigger influencers have basically said, if you are in business, you need to have a podcast. Like you have to start one. So, we're very much do as you're told type people. So we did. We were told to do it, and we started doing it. And
I was in the military. I learned follow orders.
Exactly. Do. Yes, sir. Roger that, right? That's what you say all the time. So we started the podcast, and it started to grow. We started to get better at our speaking skills, at our interview skills. We started to interview more and more people. We started growing our audience. But what for? Right? Initially, I started it because I thought, I have my real estate license. I was representing people at the time, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this to grow my audience and sell more houses. But as I grew an audience of realtors, it kind of didn't work out. How am I going to sell houses to realtors? It just didn't pan out right. So we shifted the attention, and we said, okay, you know what? Everybody who's on the show is a small business owner. At some point, they're going to need insurance if they're in business.
That's right.
And so every single person who's on the show has an insurable interest. Let's sell them insurance. So we started developing relationships and started creating referral networks and referral partners. And that's what we've been doing with the podcast so far. And as we've moved through it, we kind of started thinking, well, what can we really do to focus our attention on helping our clients grow as individuals? And I started thinking back, dude. I was thinking back when like everything got started for us, right? When everything, the very, 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 very beginning.
Way back the PCK days?
Even before that. Even
the PC Cruiser days. What was before the PC Cruiser days?
So before that, it was us being young, right? Knowing that we wanted to move out of the house, just didn't really know how to do that. And the only thing that we ever had in our brain of moving out was, well, let's get an apartment and like roommate.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes sense. And most people start there. Like, there's a lot of people who when they first move out, that's the option they go. Or when they're getting ready to, graduate from college or start their own life, they end up moving in with somebody or renting or something like that. And Dad took the time to have somebody come in and talk to us about this subject of money.
I remember that. Yep.
And we sat down and talked about the subject of money, and I don't know about for you, but for me, it was one of those like, holy crap. It was
eye-opening for sure.
There's things I can do. Like, there's ways I can make more. All I knew is that I needed to make more money. Let me tell you a story that goes even way further back than that. So my cousin Michael and I, we used to be like inseparable growing up, right? Mm-hmm. So there was 5 of us. It was James, Danny, and Jeremy. They were around the same age, and they kind of had their little group thing. And there was Michael and I. We were around the same age, so Michael and I hung out a lot. And I remember one time, I don't know what it was that we did, but we ended up getting in trouble for something, Michael and I, right? And in our frustration,
the golden child got in trouble
for something. It was, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember we got in trouble, and I was upset. I was mad because I don't get in trouble, right? I don't get scolded or whatever. But I did this time. Exactly. I did this time, and so I was upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own money and move out. Let's go make a plan to move out. And so Michael and I went and we grabbed a piece of paper and we started saying, okay, well, what do we need to move out, right? And so we wrote out a budget, right, which most people kind of do. And I had learned from Dad because I had seen him in church write out our budget, right? So I did the same type of thing. Okay, what do we need? We need a place to live. We need to pay the bills. We need to have food on the table, right? And we started writing this stuff out. And I remember looking back. I remember looking at the bottom line, right? After we had all the expenses, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Damn, it's gonna cost us like $6,000 a month to move out." and we must have been like 12 years old at the time. Good. I don't remember exactly, but I remember seeing that number and thinking, that's impossible. Like, I'm never going to make that kind of money, right? And how can I do that? I'm never going to move out. And it just made the situation even worse. And like, I'm stuck now. I have to actually listen to my parents. I have to go to my room. Like, there's no way I'm getting out of this.
Damn it. But how dare they?
Right? But that feeling, that frustration, perfect. I feel like a lot of people feel it. I was 12 when I first felt that feeling. But I know people that are today, my age, who still struggle with that same thing. They look at the budget and they look at the bottom line. They're like, how the hell am I going to survive? Like, how am I going to make this next paycheck? And so when Dad got that financial advisor to come over and kind of break things down a little bit and see the different opportunities, you started to kind of think about where money can come in. Like, there's only two things when it comes to money. There's money coming in and there's money going out, right? And so when you start looking and weighing your options and starting to understand that the job is not the only income source that's possible. There's other income sources. Rent is not the only expense that goes out. There are other expenses, and there's other ways that you can live, which is, things like mortgages and buying a place. And so, the simplicity of it was, I was given a glimpse at the rules to this game of life, right? We were 18, 19 years old at the time, and this lady comes in and she's really just taking a look at what the things we were doing, the things we were spending on. I remember, basically busting out a bank statement, and we're going through the expenses of stuff and what things cost and where we're spending our money and that stuff like that. And she started explaining certain things, and it was like, boom, the light bulb kind of started to go off, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was spending that much on I don't remember at the time, whatever it was that we were spending at the time. I was going to say Starbucks, but I don't even think we went to Starbucks very much.
It was fast food.
It was fast food. But you start looking at these things, and for me, it was one of those, like, there's this whole other world out there, which is, the world of finance, and it has its own rules. And there are people who are making a lot of money in this game, and they're following a certain set of rules. They're playing by a certain set of rules I didn't even know existed. Right. And so I remember kind of walking into this thing and the lady saying, why are you guys going to rent? You guys should buy a house. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that was the route that we began to take, because somebody opened the door. Somebody said, look, you keep staring in this direction, and that's the life that you keep going towards. Your parents went down that route. Your grandparents went down that route. You're heading towards that route. Let me turn your head a little bit and show you that there's a whole other world out here. And so, that's what we did. So we ended up buying our first house when we were 20 years old, still not really knowing what we were doing, but it was a different direction, and it opened the door to certain things.
Basically,
right?
We're talking about a paradigm shift.
It was a paradigm shift.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And for what I'm talking about for today, that one thing, right, is that paradigm shift. If you're in that situation, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, what's going on in my life right now? Am I worried about where my next paycheck is going to come from? Am I trying to buy a house right now? Am I in a position where I'm trying to buy an investment property? Am I trying to start my business? Every one of you is in a different situation, right? Every one of us is in a different situation. And since some of us are at the beginning, some of us are more towards the end, we're going to seek advice from different types of people. So when we're talking about the podcast, we started to look at our audience. Who is our audience? What is the demographic of the people that are listening to us? What is it that age group is looking for? And so I started to look at, what's our one thing? Yes, everybody has insurable interest and we can sell insurance. That's fine. But what's the one thing that I can bring value and help people on? And so,
I'm curious to where you're going there. I thought I knew where you were going.
I am. I think you're right where I'm going. So don't worry. So what's the value that we can bring to these people? And so, over time, as this was the first thing, 18 years old, we got this financial advice. Well, after that, what did we do? We started reading some Robert Kiyosaki, and then we started investing in some property, and we made some mistakes in real estate, but we were able to go to investment trainings and entity trainings and learn about how to, change the investment strategy that we had and modify it so that it became a positive cash flow. We started to do things. Then we started a business, and it did really well at first, and then it failed, and we learned a lot when it failed. And then I started learning about taxes, and then that started doing its thing, and then I started learning about investments with insurance, all these different things. 15 years or almost 17 years of education, of trying something, starting something, learning about this, implementing this, having success in this business failed, having mediocre success in the next business. All this experience, and it's just sitting in my head. I'm not sharing it with very many people. If you take my class, and if you're a 17-year-old kid and you're in my class, you're getting this information.
Lucky them. Well, at least that point of view. What about everybody else? When I sit down with a 17-year-old student and their parents at an open house and I tell them what this course is about, I always get the same response. Man, I wish I had that course in high school. And then I hear that other parent in the back saying, man,
I wish I had that course right now.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
Because things are going on in your life that you want to advance. If you're find yourself,
can I sit in with my child
Right?
in this class?
you find yourself right now in a situation where you want to leave the current spot that you're in and improve upon it, right? Get better.
And the question is,
How can we help you do that?
how?
How are we going to help you do that? And so, damn, the beautiful interruption right in the middle.
The time is 14 minutes and 52 seconds. We interrupt today's regularly scheduled #1 podcast in San Diego for a purely selfish, completely irreverent, sell-out cash grab word from our sponsor. Hernan, what are we selling today?
Talk about cliffhangers, dude. You timed that one perfectly. DroneCode.net, ladies and gentlemen. Solar is the way to go. You got to go green. That's the way of the world. The sun is literally beaming down dollar bills on you, and you just don't have the
Dollar bills,
instruments to
y'all.
catch them. Solar is that instrument. It's like your baseball glove in the outfield. It's going to catch those rays from the sun and turn them into dollar bills for you, at least save you money. So if you need to get solar on your rooftop or solar anywhere in your house or whatever else you need to go to DroneCode.net/business bros. That's the first place you start. That's where all the solar companies are going to come and fight for you as the customer. They're going to bring their best quotes, their best estimates, and you get to pick the one that you want to work with. It's simple. Go to DroneCode.net/business bros. Drone comes out, measures a rooftop, sends it out to the roofing companies, to the solar companies. You sit back, pick the one that you want to work with, and get your solar done. Start catching those dollar bills from the sun rays. DroneCode.net/business bros with 1-0.
Also, don't forget, we want to hit this number. We want to make this thermometer go all the way up to the top. So please, if you have any hoodies or blankets, we want to get 100 by the end of this month, by the end of January. So if you have any hoodies or blankets, please let me know. James@csfirst.com or text me 619-884-0045.
Boom.
And now, back to the #1 podcast in San Diego, the Business Bros Pod.
All right, so we're setting up, here's how we're going to help you. So we're setting up this basically a member's website. You're going to have access to the coursework that I do in school. I'm going to redesign it so that, it's not so math heavy and more concept heavy, and help you get to the point where you can put yourself in a position. Now, this is the beginning part. You're going to get yourself in a position where you have a specific budget, where you have a specific saving strategy, where you have the ability to put yourself in a position to buy a home, where you put yourself in a position to start your small business, your side hustle, so that eventually you get to the point where you can fire your boss. Because some of you want to do that. Some of you want to work at the same job forever. That's fine. That's okay. I 100% understand that. There's nice comfort and flexibility in being at the same job. But the thing about today, especially if you live like in San Diego or in California, it's expensive here. And so if you want to do things like go on vacation, you want to buy a home, you want to have, buy the nice car or the nice clothes or the nice shoes, oftentimes you're going to need more income. Right. And so first you need to get yourself in a situation where you're in control of your own personal spending habits, where you know exactly where you're at so you can live comfortably, start at zero, try to get yourself in a position where you're at zero debt personally. And then we can start adding other things, whether it's an investment strategy where you just want to add, do like something as simple as a 401k type savings plan, or you want to put money away in real estate investment trusts, or you want to start investing in rental properties, whatever it is, whatever you want to achieve, we can help you do that. Then the other side of it is, which is my big thing, you need to have a side hustle. You need to have something on the side that's generating you an additional income, because it's giving you the freedom to live the life that you want to live. There's only one thing that money can really buy you. And the only thing that is actually worth something, and that's time. Time is the only thing that money can really, really buy you. So we're going to be putting together these courses for the year. That's my one thing for this year. My one goal for this year is to put together this course to be able to give you guys the opportunity to put yourself in a position so that you can succeed. So you benefit from the 15 years of stuff that I've already done. So you can benefit from the mistakes that I've already made, so that you can hear all those things and then put you in a position where you can then excel. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty darn good. That's the one thing, is to put together this.
That's my one thing. But when I want you guys thinking about your one thing, right? The audience thinking about your one thing, what is it that you want to achieve this year? Like there's one thing that you need to get done. And then as we develop that one thing, as you come up with the one achievement that you want to achieve, what is it? Is it having a specific dollar amount in savings? Is it getting yourself out of debt? Is it paying cash for your car? I don't know what it is. Your one thing, your one financial thing that you want to get accomplished. What is that? I mean, think about that one thing. And then we can reverse engineer how we're going to get that. And then we're going to sit down and talk about, how can we break that down? How are we going to make that? We got 12 months, right? 12-month calendar. Every single month, if we get to December and you are achieving that goal, what did you have to do by November? What did you have to do by October? What did you have to do? And so forth. And then each week.
Break it down.
Because that's the way we're going to make it. You can't run a race, start a race, and then end at the finish line without taking steps in between. Right? There are always a proper steps. And I guess this is kind of a little bit of a damper. I wish I can tell you it's like a get rich quick type thing. Like I wish I could tell you I have the secret to help you start at, $10,000 in debt and then you buy $1 million boat by the end of the year. Like I wish I had that kind of answer for you. But the truth is, this is a process.
If somebody's selling you that,
well, but that's the thing. Like everything that's attractive that you see online, make $10,000 in a week.
Yeah.
I mean, possible, yes, but do you start there? Like getting to that
results
point,
like this are not. What does it say? Results are not common.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Here's why.
Results are not typical. That's what it says.
Yeah, results are not typical. But here's why. It's because to get to that level, you need to have taken the steps beforehand. You need to have developed the habits beforehand. And as you implement these steps and as you implement these habits, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. The snowball starts to develop and roll and get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you get there. It's kind of like the social media thing, right? Like when we started the podcast, we had a whole total of 0 followers, right? 0 following. But as we progressed, as we did more episodes consistently on a regular basis and brought more guests on and shared their stories, our audience has slowly grown. We're over 6,000 on Facebook or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, and growing. And that's the thing, is it's going to continue to grow. This is a snowball. Before you know it, people are going to be like, the Business Bros, I know who they are. And it's going to be like we had 100,000 listeners and followers every single day. But it doesn't start there. You weren't, most of you weren't around when we were putting out episodes every day and nobody listened. But it was the habit that we were building, the habit of getting here every day, to put the information out there, to turn the mic on, to post an episode, to sit here and talk about things, whether we knew what we were going to say exactly, or we outlined it out, or we were interviewing a guest and, kind of having an outline and general ideas of what we were going to ask. Like every single skill that we've developed over time, and every once in a while, when we're doing things, we get lucky, and then we stumble upon something that gives us, a jump in our followers, a little boost, right? And eventually we're going to get something that hits a huge boost. For example, follow us on TikTok, right? At Business Bros Pod. We've been posting TikToks for a while, and they were getting, 100, 200, maybe 300 views on something. And then recently we and kind of weird, it's a little off of what we're doing, but we made Jello shots out of, with like actual fruit. So like we took a watermelon.
Give credit where credit is due.
The wife
Rosa made Jello shots, and they were
helped her. And,
did you?
And they were freaking amazing.
Whatever, they were amazing.
They were amazing.
They were like watermelon shaped Jello shots in a watermelon peel.
Yeah, and same thing, lemon shaped Jello shots in a lemon peel. Strawberry Jello shots inside a strawberry.
Like it was amazing.
They were good, right? And
amazing.
I made a video of it showing, because I wanted to show it off, of course, right? Of course, she put in a lot of work on those, and so we both did, but I put in a video out and I put it on TikTok. And, right off the bat, it got like 1,000 views or something like that. I was like, oh, cool. And nothing to it. And then like a week or two later, like it just started picking up again. Right? And then like over like the last couple days, it got a little crazy. And this is my first little bit of TikTok viralness. Now, it's not super viral. It's not like, 100,000 views or nothing. It's like at 8,000 views, but from going to, 100 to 200, views and I jumped like 15,000. Yeah, I jumped like 15 followers. And then this is what I'm talking about. This is if you consistently do something towards your one thing, you're going to get boosts. There's going to be some things that work really well and some things that don't work as well, but they're going to put you in a direction that you're going in because it's your one thing. You're focused on it. Now you've gotten that little boost. Now you got a head start against everybody because you're consistent, because you're working towards that one thing. So that to me is huge, but it starts with defining what that one thing is. What is it that you want to achieve this year? What is it? 2020 is the year of vision and clarity. What is it that you want to achieve in 2020? For me, the biggest thing is I want to be able to help more of you. And so that's developing a course with material that you want to learn about, right? Things that you're struggling with. It was funny because we're talking with I forgot who I was talking with, but we were talking about the Roaring 20s, right? How in the 1920s it was an amazing time, and the economy was doing really well, everything was awesome. And one thing that people forget is the end of the 20s, we hit this thing called the Depression. So history repeats itself. Is it like accurately at the centennial marker, at the 100-year marker that we're going to do the same thing? Probably not, but we're having a great economy right now. Things are good. We're entering our version of the Roaring 20s. Things are amazing. What goes up must come down.
Yikes. You threw physics in there.
And that's the scary thing is, do you have yourself in a situation where if things go down, you are going to survive? We think about that all the time. We talk about this in our business, in our own personal lives. Are we in a position where we're going to make it if things go wrong?
Yep.
We hope we are. We hope we're setting things up in the ways so that, we can weather the storm. But until the storm hits, we're not really going to know. The best we can do is prepare. And we're preparing by focusing our attention on our one thing. Our business has a goal. It has our one goal, right? We're gonna try to attract 100 pipeline insurance agents, each making $10,000 a month in commissions. This is our goal.
Yep.
This is what we're working towards. That means a lot of things. That means recruiting, because we're only at 45 agents. So we're at 45 agents. So we need some more recruiting to go in. Not every single agent is making $10,000 a month. So it means we have to help them with their marketing. We have to help them with their support. But everything that we're doing is geared towards our one goal in that business. What is your agents, one goal?
$10,000 a month.
What is your one goal? What is it that you need to achieve? And let's break that down so that everything you're doing in your day is focused towards that one thing. Man.
Felt good, huh?
One goal.
The one thing.
That's what we want to get. That's today's show. That's what I wanted to get through. I hope I did it.
I think so.
I hope I did it.
I think so. I mean, that's really, when it comes right down to it, you had one thing you wanted to talk about, and it was the one thing. And you talked about it.
Weirdo. That's how we roll.
What can I say, man?
That's how we roll. All right, ladies and gents.
That's your brother.
Yeah, exactly. Just a quick reminder. We want 100 blankets, 100 hoodies, whatever it is. Boys, girls, large, smalls, whatever you guys got, we're willing to take. Maybe it's, leftover Christmas presents that you don't want to go to Target or Walmart and get in line to send them back. Just send them our way. Maybe it's some stuff that you're cleaning out your closet to put in all your new stuff. Let's send it our way. Blankets, hoodies, whatever it is you got to keep the homeless warm.
We won't tell Grandma you're regifting her gift.
Exactly.
We promise.
I tried to do that, but the mic wasn't. There you go. Zip the lip. But we're looking for 100 by the end of the month. So if you guys got them, please send them our way. 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. James is also in the insurance business. Pipeline Insurance is our company. We'd love to help you get those homeowner quotes processed as quick as possible. Maybe you got a business, so you need some workers' comp, some general liability, whatever it is you need. We're here to assist you in your insurance ventures. So Pipeline Insurance, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. We can also help you add insurance into your business, help increase your bottom line, because we're talking about that one thing, right? Maybe your one thing is to increase the income in the bottom without doing some extra work. Pipeline Insurance is here to help you.
That's right. And by the way, there is something that I worked on today that shows a step-by-step how someone can make $5,000 a month based just on referrals within 5 years.
Within 5 years.
$5,000 a month.
It makes sense to me. I mean, you're already
$60,000 a year.
You're
Why
already
not?
doing what you're doing. Might as well earn a little bit extra income, and you're not going to change your habits. Everything's going to stay the same. You're doing exactly the same.
All
thing.
you got to do is send referrals to Pipeline Insurance, get your insurance license so we can pay you, and bada bing, bada boom. 5 years time, you're gonna be making an extra $60,000 a year.
Done
How do you
deal.
like that?
619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. Show sponsor for today is DroneQuote.net. Make sure you guys go to DroneQuote.net/business bros.
Business bros.
This is where you start the solar process. This is where you go to begin the phases. Take that sun, it's shooting rays of money, and open up your solar panels, catch them, make yourself go green, and get some green in your pocket. DroneQuote.net/business bros. All right, guys, that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.
Bye Facebook. I don't know why I'm doing the bye.
Bye.
You know what? It was Star-Lord. That's what I'm thinking of.
Star-Lord.
Booyah.